How I became a pimp in a campus. Story time. And before you judge me, just understand this. I wear my mistakes with pride, okay? There is nothing you can tell me to shame me right now. I have lived so many lives, I'm telling you. Well, hello everyone. My name is Rosina Sharon, and you can call me a cat because I have lived many lives. I am a makeup educator majority of the time. Makeup artist, makeup educator. I teach makeup. Okay, they call me the queen of blend. Now introducing makeup and chat, makeup and story time, makeup and tea, however you want to call it. We shall be telling stories, we shall be venting as we do makeup. And guys, I'll be introducing a session where I'll be hosting guests as well. So if you want to vent, if you want to tell your story while we do makeup, comment down below. Look for me. This is a safe space, okay? We do not judge here, including on the comment section. We do not judge. Do you hear? We do not judge. And guys, please subscribe. Yeah, and let's get into the story. I was in my second year of campus, and if there is one thing I was used to growing up is competition. Okay? I have been very competitive from a very young age. Yeah, I have been very competitive. I used to do like poetry and you know how we go for drama festivals, and I always won when it comes to poetry, especially, you know, doing poems and writing. And I used to compete a lot in drama festivals, like poetry, especially poetry while I was still young, and then later on in life writing, because I used to write a lot. Short stories, poetry, name it. And I knew how to recite a poem, child. I knew, that is exactly why I know how to do stories like this, okay? I used to write a lot of poems and stories and novels and everything else. So I have been very competitive from a very young age. So when I went to campus and I was doing law, and I just wanted to get into any competition. Okay, provided it's a competition, get me in. I'm not a sporty girl, I don't do sports. So I wanna get into any competition that I can get in. And so I ventured into politics. Okay, politics firm. So I was vying. That was the first time I was vying. I actually lost that year. That was the first time I was vying for Secretary General in the KLSS. That is the Kenya Law Student Society. So I wanted to be the Secretary General for the Kenya Law Student Society. Okay, so that is where the story starts. That is where the story begins. Okay, so I am vying for this position. We are doing campaigns, you know, and I put so much effort in those campaigns, let me tell you. The posters, the posing, I went to the studio, I did the posing, I did a number of posters, and I was, don't get me wrong, I was a very broke uni girl. I was a very broke university student. I was broke as hell. I don't know where I got the money to do the posters, but I did the posters and I was campaigning, okay? And I was your typical African politician child. Typical. I was promising everyone heaven while delivering hell. I had no intentions of leading. I had every intention of winning, not leading. Do you understand? My goal was to win. After winning, I do nothing, because leading was not part of it. I just wanted to win for the sake of winning. I just wanted, you know, because the competition just gives me dopamine. You understand? Ego. I was vying for ego purposes, because and I should have known I was going to lose those elections terribly, because no one took me seriously. At the time, no one, and I mean no one, took me seriously. And I can't even blame them, because do you know how I used to wear while I was in law school, of all in law school? Do you know what I used to wear in campus, to go to campus? I was straight out of a Nollywood movie in the 90s. And I mean it with every breath. Straight out of the Nollywood movies in the 90s with stripper shoes. So imagine that combination. Exhibit A, you think I'm joking? Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Exhibit C. I am coming with the receipts so you guys can understand. That is exactly how I used to wear in campus. I would walk in with 6-inch heels, sometimes even 7-inch heels on a Tuesday, wearing like that. And I got straight to school, and I would walk with my 7-inch heels the whole day. I would not take them out. The whole day I would be in heels. My campus experience was more of a fashion show. I was in the wrong profession. It was more of a fashion show for me. I was there to look good and pass my grades. Just look good and, with very terrible makeup, but look good regardless. I was there to showcase my fashion sense. And I passed. And majority of the time I was not even in campus, to be honest. At the time, majority of the time I was not present in campus. I used to travel a lot. Tell me why I was in Rwanda. While I am in Rwanda, people are in class. I have already traveled to Rwanda and came back. I was in the wrong profession. Come to think of it, I was in the wrong profession because I think I was meant for this lifestyle. It's just that and I used to pass, fam. I used to pass with flying colors. Okay, I never failed, not one test. Ask anybody who was with me in school. I never failed, not even one test in school. Thank God for my mom's genes, because a girl has been a very smart queen from a very young age, since I was born. Very smart. I did not read a lot. But anyway, that is where it starts. So I do the campaigns, okay? The election day gets here, I failed the first time. And let me tell you guys, I failed terribly, okay? So fast forward 1 year later, okay? The campaigns are on again. And guys, Rosina Sharon does not give up, let me tell you. Hey! Giving up has never been in my DNA, ever. I do not give up. I'm not even joking when I say it. I do not give up. And you guys should know. Who would have thought I would make a comeback on YouTube? 2 years later, 2 years after not being consistent on YouTube, who would have thought? I'm the queen of comebacks. You guys should know. I don't quit. Quitting is not, if you see me down and you think I am going to give up, think again, because I do not give up. But anyway, so I vie again, and thankfully, because I had vied the last time, I had made a lot of connection politically, I had made a number of connections. Now this second time, while I was vying, my dressing was a bit better. Now I was dressing like this, exhibit A. Now I knew, because I had gone to my attachment already and come back. So this is my 3rd year of campus, and I was a bit more serious. I was a bit more serious now, with school and everything, and at least I was acting better. You understand? There was improvement. All right, and I feel like people could see that. I don't even know why they voted for me, but they. Second time, guys, I'm campaigning. It goes. Election day comes there. Election day gets here. And guess who's won? Me, yours truly. And now I am the Secretary General of the Kenya Law Student Society. And boy, was I happy. Okay, so I won. Or rather, I won, and I was now the Secretary General of the Kenya Law Student Society. And at the time, it just so happened that is when we brought up the initiative of reviewing the University of Nairobi Constitution. The Constitution for the University of Nairobi. That is when we brought up the review thing, right? So it was approved by the university. So we had to meet up. And remember, at the time, that is when the University of Nairobi had just introduced the Kisumu campus and the Mombasa campus as well. And in the Constitution, the Kisumu campus and the Mombasa campus, they were, at the time, the Constitution was not inclusive of the Kisumu campus and the university campus, and we needed to change a lot of things in the Constitution itself. So we had to do a number of meetups. And because you're changing the constitution for the whole university. That would include the university, the School of Engineering, School of Law, School of, every other school and every leader from all the schools coming together, all right, and reviewing this constitution. And we had to do a lot of discussion at the time, and we actually got paid for it. Can you imagine? We had a lot of discussions, what goes, what does not go. And because we are the lawyers in the group, we were very important. We were a very important part of that process. Okay, so that is when I met up with a number of politicians, let me tell you, because at the time, because the campaigns are done, you're being introduced to all these school leaders. And it is funny because campus politics is so similar to the country politics. It's crazy. The campus politics and the politics in general, very, very similar. And you get introduced to this leader from, even if it's School of Engineering, for instance, or this other leader who knows this politician. You go and meet them. You meet one politician introduces you to a different politician, and so on and so forth. So at the time, I knew a number of people. I knew a lot of MPs, members of parliament at the time, and a lot of other politicians at the time. Okay, no names being named. Okay, guys. So I was in politics. I was deep in politics at the time, very deep in. Okay, and I had a lot of politician friends. And guys, I can tell you this. What I can tell you is, that is when I understood the saying, politics is a dirty game. Because let me tell you, Maina, you have no idea. But anyway, I got introduced to a lot of politicians at the time. And at the time, I used to be in Kisumu a lot. I was in Kisumu majority of the time. That we have been acquainted, me and a number of politicians, right? So we would talk, and you know how politicians are. I'm sorry to say, but these married politicians, they're normally just flirting with girls, young girls. That is what they do always, flirting with young girls. They were trying me. I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. And I'm a very loyal girl. At the time, I was in a relationship, and I was very principled. I said, no, thank you, not me. And then I would suggest to them, maybe I can hook you up with someone. This was as a joke, right? And then they would, at the time, they get very excited when you say, I can introduce you to someone else. They get very, very excited. So me, I did not know, right? That was their game. Me, I did not know at the time. I was so blind to it. So now, they would request, because when I'm in Kisumu, they would request, say, hey, we want to it has been very rough lately. I just want to go somewhere and relax and ease my mind. And I will say, okay, come to Kisumu. Come to Kisumu. There's so many places you can go to in Kisumu. And they would be like, oh. And then, because at the time, I was known in Kisumu, right? And I knew a number of clubs. I would just go and speak to the owner and say, yo, there is a number of MPs who are coming here, so make it very, very private. No other people are allowed, okay? It's just the MPs alone. That is how influential I was. Clap for me. Thank you. Now, I would suggest come to Kisumu, okay? And when I'm suggesting come to Kisumu, because these married politicians are always going to be married politicians, always cheating on their wives. Like they get paid for it. When I tell you, majority of these people got voted in just for the sake, they were just competing for the sake of competition. Not because they wanted to be good leaders in their constituencies or whatever it may be, right? So when I'm suggesting come to Kisumu, they're like, oh my God, look for somebody I can hang out with in Kisumu, like a girl. Look for someone I can hang out with in Kisumu. I'm like, oh, okay. And at the time, I am a student leader. I know a number of campus girls are very available for such things. I'm sorry to say, but parents, if you take your girls, whether or rather your children, to campus and you totally forget about them, they are going to look for other ways to make money. I'm sorry to say. That is just the reality. They are going to look for other ways to make money. If you place them in the university and they call you, oh mom, I don't have pads, I don't have her. Or when they call, you're not picking up because they're in campus now, they're grown adults. They're going to look for ways to get money. They're still children. Understand that they're not working. They're jobless, unemployed. They don't have money. They're broke. If they call you, I don't have food. And you're like, I'll send you. You don't send. Or you don't even pick up their calls. I don't know why most of the parents abandon their children once they get to campus. When you abandon that child, especially, they're going to look for other ways to get money. And unfortunately, this was one of the ways. Okay, well, now that out of the way, yeah, so I would look for 1, 2 girls, 3 girls, and be like, hey, there this MPs coming to Kisumu, you know, they're just looking for a good time. All right, so you know, it's willing buyer, willing seller. Okay, don't blame me. I was part of the problem, yes, but don't put 100% the blame on me. Okay, willing buyer, willing seller. All right, now that out of the way. So I would talk to them and be like, yeah, they're coming to, you know, they just want to have a good time, and I would warn them in advance, because at the time I had experienced, at the time I had hung out with too many politicians, and I know how this guys, you know, how they roll. I understand that very, very well. So I would tell them, be very, very careful. Okay, make sure your location is on 24 hours. Share your location with somebody. Yeah, if you're uncomfortable, let somebody know. Let me know. Let somebody else know. Let your friend know. You know, beware of your surroundings. That is what I would tell them. Okay, and it started off with just one MP. Okay, so when he said, "Oh, I'm having a lot of pressure. I just want to, you know, go somewhere and relax," and then I suggested come to Kisumu, and then he wanted me. I said no. Right? Then he asked, like, okay, can you introduce me to somebody? You know, I just want to take this pressure off. I spoke to one campus girl like this, okay, willing seller, willing buyer, and then I told her the situation as is, and then I told her to be very, very careful. And I did not know, me, I was just thinking, I'm just connecting this too, right? But then this MP sends me money for doing that. I said, oh, okay. And he sent me a lot of money, by the way. I said, oh wow, so this is how it goes, eh? This is how it goes. And then he came to Kisumu with and then because I was the one who was picking him up at the airport. I went with this girl, and then I introduced the two of them together, and I left them there. I took my border ride home. Okay, so I don't know what they did. Whatever they did, they did a beg. Yeah. So after that, I feel like that MP really had a good time, let me tell you, because he could not stop talking about it. It's like that girl showed him pepper, boy. Yeah, it's like he's never experienced that in his life, boy. Hey, he could not stop talking about it. Let me tell you, he spoke about it over and over and over and over. It was like a song, man. He was singing, and I feel like he went back and told his other friends, like, hey, you know, there is this. And told his other friends, like, if you want a good time, go to Kisumu, and make sure you talk to Rosina first before you go. So it started with one, and then all of a sudden the second one came to Kisumu. I said, guys, it started off with just one person, right? And then the next, and then the next, and then the next. And now it had gone from the politicians asking me, right, to the girls themselves coming to me. Like, they have decided to talk amongst each other. Now one girl is coming to me and bringing her friends. The friends are like, oh my god, can we, you know, we would love to join next time. And then it is now I'm running a full organization. I don't know how I got myself there. I was running a full organization. I felt like madam. Oh my god. Yeah. So now it's a full-blown organization, and I had to write down the names of the girls. Can you imagine? So I know, because everyone, you know, had their preferences. This one wants a curvier girl. This one wants a petite girl. This one wants a short girl. This one, like, there were so many requirements. I had to write them down with description. So before they come, yeah, describe what you want. And then they will tell me, so yeah, you know, physical features A, B, C, D, and F. Okay? And then I would find the perfect candidate. And guys, the one thing I did not do is send pictures beforehand. I was not doing that. I was not sending their pictures beforehand. You're going to meet them. You've described, I am going to deliver. You trust me, I trust you. Okay? Same basis. That was the agreement. You don't harm my girls. See the way I'm talking? Oh my God. I'm speaking like such a pimp. My Lord. Oh, wow. Like a proper madam. Yeah? Do not hurt my girls. And I will make sure I deliver exactly what you want. I'm such a criminal, oh my God. Wow. I was not getting the girls from the campus I was at. Okay, I used to solicit girls from different campuses, not the one I'm at, because again, I'm a student. Remember, guys, all this time I'm still a student leader. Okay, so I'm doing this thing chini ya maji. It's a secret. It's a top secret. Nobody in my campus knew. Yeah, I was such a saint in campus. None of the people I was studying with knew what I was doing. Okay, it was a very well-kept secret, okay? So I used to solicit girls from different campuses, not the one I was at, okay? And majority of the time, it was very, I'm sorry guys, reality, it was very easy for me to get girls. Like, that is the one thing I never had issues with, right? It was very, very easy for me to get girls. It's so easy. I hope the system is different now, because guys, thinking about it now, we need to protect our girls. I'm sorry guys, we need to protect our girls, because hey, it was so easy. It was so easy. How did I stop, you may ask? I figured out there are better ways of making money, and what I was doing was not right. Yeah, because it almost became addictive at some point. Once you start getting easy money, it gets very, very addictive. And I could just see myself doing more and more and worse, and getting worse and worse. So I figured this is not it. And then also, I got pregnant. When I sat down and I had to reevaluate myself and everything else, I said, if I wanted to change society, it would have to start with me, because I am clearly part of the problem. And I had to change it somehow, okay? Because I figured, generally speaking, like, you don't know what these people do when they meet, right? And I was imagining the worst happening to these girls, and I could not take it if any of them were to be hurt during this whole scenario. And then I go to jail, and then like, I'm hurting somebody's daughter, a sister. And I said, you know what? This is not going to be me anymore. But anyway, guys, this story time today is an educational story, okay? The story today is for educational purposes. So which part you want to learn from, it's totally up to you. I'm sure you're smart, you'll figure it out. But there is one very big lesson to be learned in this story. Let me know which one on the comment section, okay? Let me know which one on the comment section. I need to know your different opinion on this, okay? And if you're a young girl, you're in campus, and you think easy money is the way to go, let me tell you, quick money, it catches up to you. It does. And in very, very terrifying ways, it will catch up to you. And you do not want to waste your life because of quick money, easy money. There are better ways of going about life, okay? It's not as easy as it seems, okay? It's not all good money and roses. There's so many things that happen in between. and it catches up to you. So go to school, study, make sure you get your degree, get out, okay? And find a career for yourself, work on yourself, okay? The quick money way is not the best way, all right? So, and if you're a parent watching this, when your kids go to campus, university, college, do not abandon them. Don't abandon your children in colleges, in campuses. Don't abandon them. They're broke. They're desperate. There's so many things going around, okay? This is when they're getting exposed to a lot of things. Do not abandon them. That is when you should actually be very, very close. And don't be very judgmental. That is when they run away from you, okay? Don't be too quick to judge and install fear in them. More of a listening ear, an understanding ear, and guide them, okay? Don't abandon them. Pick up their calls when they're calling. When they're broke, find a way. Find a way to help them. Because if you don't, they're going to figure it out by themselves. And it's going to be very, very dangerous, okay? All right, guys, this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story time. All right, if you, any other story, guys, just comment in the comment section. Okay, let me know what you think about the story today in the comments. Let me come closer so you can see the look. And that is it. Okay. I shall be seeing you guys on my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and guys, please subscribe. Please subscribe. All right, bye.